and welcome to a video all about our mindset and having a growth mindset, and also about the zones of regulation. I've decided to do this because obviously with the lockdown and everything that's going on at the moment, it's really important to look after our mental health, and it has recently been Mental Health Awareness Week. So I think more than ever it's really important for us to discuss and to think about how our brains work and how we can help ourselves and help ourselves to feel good. If you do have anything that you think, oh, I really need a bit more help with that, please email me or your class teacher and let me know, and we can definitely help you more with that. So firstly, what I'd like to speak to you about is our mindset and the power of our mind. So our mindset is all about our beliefs about what we're able to achieve and our potential. So it's what we believe we are able to do. The mindset that we have affects our view of the world, and it affects what we are able to achieve. So the difference between a positive and a negative mindset can really have an impact on our lives. So it's really important that we understand it, because it can interpret our experiences and affect how we sort of live our lives. The second thing is about being in control. So we're going to talk about lots of different strategies and almost coming up with a toolkit of things that help us to be able to make positive experiences and just change that mindset, so that we can be in control of situations, so that we can confront challenges and say, that's okay, yes, it's a challenge, but I'm going to give it a go. And we can be capable of growing our mind and understanding that it's okay to make mistakes. It really is. I do it all the time. Trust me, there's a lot of outtakes on these videos. So what I really want us to focus on is the process of when we are completing a task or completing a bit of work, and not just the product. I would really like to run 5 kilometres under 26 minutes. That's sort of a challenge for me, and it is quite a challenge, and I've not managed to achieve it yet, but I'm focusing on my training and all the things that I can put into it, and making sure I've got a positive mindset so I am able to achieve that. So you probably have similar goals, things that you'd like to achieve. Maybe it's understanding a certain bit of maths, maybe it's something school related or sport related or related to playing a musical instrument. You really want to get your certain grade. It's all about having that mindset so we're able to achieve and fulfill our potential. So we've got two types of mindset. We've got a fixed mindset and we've got our growth mindset. So with our fixed mindset, I like to think of that as more of a closed mind, and the growth mindset is more open. So it's even to do with the way that we talk. So if I was to have a fixed mindset, I might say, I can't do this. And what happens by just those 4 words, I can't do this, is you then start to believe that you're not going to be able to do this. However much help you get, however many resources you use, you're believing in your head that you're not able to do this task. So what I like to change this to, and we've looked at this a lot with the dojo characters when we watch those dojo videos, it's not I can't do this, it's I can't do this yet. So just add in that extra word, we call it the power of yet. So it's not I can't do this, it's I can't do this yet. Yes, it is a bit of a challenge at the moment, and I'm finding it pretty hard, but it's not that I'm never going to be able to do this, it's that you can't do it yet. Another one which I hear quite a lot is it's too hard. We give you things that are pretty hard, but not things that aren't achievable. So I like to change that to it's a challenge, but I'm still going to try. Yes, it might feel too hard at the moment, but if you're saying it's too hard, it's like that's it. We're not going to try anymore, because in your head it's too hard, I can't do it. And we go back to that. So actually it's not it's too hard, it's a challenge, but I'm going to try. So it's all about that mindset, it's all about how we're thinking. And now if I'm saying I'm going to try, even though it's really hard, I'm going to work on that process. Remember, we talked about a process rather than just the finished product. I'm going to work a bit on it, and actually even if I don't get the right answer, or if I don't get there, I'm going to feel really proud of how hard that I've tried, and that's really important. I can't do this by myself. If you're saying I can't do this by myself, you're already thinking that that's it, you're switched off from the activity and you're thinking, I'm just going to wait for someone to come and do it for me or help me. But what about if we change that to try and help us become a bit more independent and try to think, where can I find help? So rather than thinking, I can't do this by myself, think, where can I find help? What have I got in my classroom or what have I got at home that could help me to achieve this task? Or if it's something sport related, I can't do this by myself. Okay, who's going to help me, or what could I use to help me? And that's really important. So maybe if it was in the classroom, okay, what resources could I go and get to help me solve this problem? Who could I ask? Okay, so where can I find that help? It's much more open, and it means that you will be able to achieve, even if you don't get your final answer, or if you don't achieve, for example, my 5K time, it's not that I can't do it, it's not that it's too hard, it's not that I can't do it by myself, I just haven't done it yet, but I'm working on that process, and when it does happen, I'm going to be really proud of myself. And if it doesn't happen, I'm proud of myself for having an open mindset and for trying. I'd like to really encourage you to try and do the same. So firstly, the power of our mind. We've got to think our mind is really strong with how we view situations, and if we want to have positive experiences, we really have got to have that positive mindset, that positive view of situations. Take control of those challenges, believe in yourself, and just show those resilient skills that you've got. And being in control, that it's okay to make mistakes, that doesn't stop things. It's good to make mistakes because it means you're learning. And then just changing our fixed mindset to a growth mindset, and we can do that, just start doing that just by the things we say. So well done for your work on your growth mindset. Please send me the sayings that you've come up with that you think you say all the time, and hopefully you're starting to think in a positive way and developing that growth mindset. Well done if it's something that you already do, and it's just good to make you aware that you are doing it. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is the zones of regulation. So something I particularly like about the zones of regulation is that it tells you it's fine to be in any mood and feel any emotion at all. We all go through a massive range of emotions at different points in our life, in our day, so it's okay however you're feeling. We just want to help you manage that feeling and manage that situation so it doesn't get too much for you, whichever zone that you are in. You might recognise this from our Year 6 classrooms. So you might have seen the zones of regulation around school looking like this, and I'm going to explain each of the zones for you. I'm going to start with the green zone. So when we're in the green zone, our faces might look like this, and we are going to be feeling happy, calm, focused, ready to learn, and we're just generally feeling okay. So when we're in the green zone, we're going to be ready to learn. So this is the area that would be ideal for most of us to be in when we want to do our learning. But it is okay to be in any of the other zones at other times. So hopefully looking at this, we can start to identify how we are feeling. So if we're in the blue zone, we might be feeling sad, sick, tired, bored, we might be moving a bit slowly, a bit lethargic. So when we're in the yellow zone, we might start to feel frustrated, we might feel a bit worried, we might lose some control, not completely, but we might start to feel like we're losing some control of the situation, or we might get super excited and silly. Then we've got the red zone. So if we're in the red zone, we might feel quite angry, we might feel mean, terrified, we might be shouting or hitting, or we might feel quite out of control. Now, it is fine to be in the red zone, but it's important that we're in an appropriate place and that we are keeping safe, because it's fine to have those angry feelings, but we want to be able to manage those feelings so it doesn't hurt anyone else or ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create yourself a little toolkit that links to the zones of regulation, helps you to understand how you're feeling, and gives you tools to deal with each of the zones. I have sent through to your parents a zones of regulation toolkit that looks like this. It's got an example for each of the zones, but you can fill it in as to what is best for you. So the idea is you have a chat with your family at home, have a talk about when you feel in each zone, and then you can come up with ideas to help you to manage that zone. For example, if you're in the green zone and you're feeling happy, you're ready to learn, what's going to keep you in that green zone? What's going to keep you happy? You need to make sure you're drinking water to stay hydrated, to keep your brain focused. Maybe you'll need to have a snack. What else is going to keep you ready to learn? What helps you to stay happy? What helps you to keep ready to learn? For the blue zone, what tools are you going to use? If you're feeling sad, remember that's completely fine. If you're sad or if you're tired, what is going to help you to manage that so you don't get too sad or too tired? What could help you to feel a bit more awake? Maybe it's having a bit of a stretch. Then we've got the yellow zone. Remember, it's brilliant to be excited. It's completely fine to be a bit worried, and that might be something you're feeling at the moment with the idea of coming back to school. But what's going to help you manage that? Could it be that you're doing deep breaths? Could you write a list of your worries? Maybe you've got a worry monster. What happens if you get so excited? How would you make sure that that excitement doesn't get too much so you feel out of control? Then we've got our red zone. So if we're feeling like we are out of control, how are you going to let your parents or your teacher know? Maybe you've come up with a special secret symbol so that they know you need some time out, somewhere in a safe space by yourself. If you're feeling angry, what is it that you do? Is it that you play with your Play-Doh? What is it that helps you to control your being in the red zone? So remember, it's fine for us to manage each of the zones and to stay in that zone. But the green zone is the area we'd like to be in so that we're ready to learn. Some of you might do your best learning when you're in the yellow zone because you're excited about it. So you have to work out what the zones of regulation mean to you. We've talked about it at school, but I'd like you to have a chat with your families and see what emotions you have been feeling recently and how you could develop a toolkit to manage those emotions. So pause the video here, have a chat to your family, FaceTime your friends if you'd like to talk to them about how they are feeling, especially during this time, especially about coming back to school and any emotions that may bring up for you. If you've already got a toolkit and you feel super happy with that, that's brilliant. But it's always good to talk about how you are feeling, talk about the moods that you might be in, whether that's a happy mood, a sad mood. Remember, it's so important for us to look after our mental health. So I know we've sort of done 2 lessons in one there. We've thought about our positive mindset and having a growth mindset rather than having a fixed mindset. And I really do hope that that's going to help you as you go on to secondary school, become more independent learners. And I am so proud of you already, but I know that that's a task that you can definitely take on as you move through to secondary school and coming back to school. And then we've had our zones of regulation toolkit. So a video of 2 halves, but I hope they were both helpful for you, and please let me know if you've got any questions, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Keep safe. Please also remember that there are so many different people you can talk to. You can talk to your teachers, you can talk to your parents or carers at home. If you've got any siblings, your friends, it's so important for us to get talking about our mental health and how we're feeling, and that it's okay to feel those different emotions, but we just want to help you to manage them.